In a world of turmoil, America's new pope emerged not with a crown, but with a cross on his shoulders, dedicating his life to the church. Discover his inspiring story in today's video. With Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost becoming Pope Leo XIV, history has been made by the first American to hold the position. He has a balanced leadership style and an ability to heal the rifts in the church. Will Pope Leo XIV's prudence and spirit of dialogue help him overcome the challenges and lead the church into a more harmonious era? Robert Francis Prevost, born in 1955 in Chicago, wrote a new page in the history of the Catholic Church when he became Pope Leo XIV, the first American to assume this supreme position. This was a meaningful event not only for him, but also for the entire Catholic community. The elevation of an American to the papacy is not only a remarkable personal achievement, but also a milestone in the history of the Church. It represents the integration and development of the Catholic Church, showing that this religion is not limited to any borders, but is always open to receiving contributions from all cultures and countries. Subscribe to our channel to continue watching more interesting moments. Born and raised in a humble family, Prevost showed early a desire to serve and a fidelity to the faith. From his early days as an Augustinian, he demonstrated leadership and virtue, gradually making steady progress in his religious career. Becoming Pope Leo XIV was not only a reward for his tireless efforts, but also a source of pride for the American Catholic community. The thought of Pope Leo XIV, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, was marked by his balance and ability to heal rifts within the Catholic Church. In an era when the Church was facing deep divisions between conservative and progressive factions, he emerged as a figure who could bridge those gaps. His leadership style combines patience, prudence, and a spirit of dialogue, always respecting all points of view, while encouraging cooperation and mutual understanding. This is especially important in the context of the Church facing many sensitive issues. Pope Leo XIV continued the reformist spirit of Pope Francis, always paying attention to migrants, the poor, and the vulnerable. He preserved the traditional values of the Church while promoting peace, justice, and environmental protection. With his vision, ability to heal internally, and compassion, he became a respected leader in a time of change. Pope Leo XIV, whose real name was Robert Francis Prevost, had a unique multicultural background. Born and raised in Chicago, USA, to parents of Spanish, French, and Italian descent. This culturally diverse background shaped an open-minded, thoughtful, and empathetic man who drew from the best of many Catholic civilizations. From a young age, he showed a desire to serve the Church and nurtured the dream of becoming a priest. His educational path not only demonstrated his outstanding intelligence, but also showed a spirit of continuous learning. He studied mathematics at Villanova University, a major that required logical thinking, analysis, and high discipline, and graduated with excellent results. But what is most remarkable is the harmonious combination of intellect and faith in his academic journey. He holds a Master of Theology from the Catholic Theological Union, and then a Doctor of Canon Law from the Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas in Rome. His fluency in multiple languages, English, Spanish, French, Italian, and Portuguese, and his ability to read Latin and German make him a perfect bridge between cultures and the global community of believers. He is not only a man of great learning, but also a symbol of cultural harmony, tolerance, and wisdom in service to God's mission. It is this solid academic foundation and open-mindedness that makes him a pope full of hope for the future of the Church. Before becoming pope, Robert Francis Prevost had a long and impressive career in Peru, where he devoted much of his life to religious and pastoral work. During his years as bishop and archbishop, he became a highly influential figure, not only in Peru, but also in Latin America. His close ties to the community and his deep understanding of social and religious issues there gave him a comprehensive view of the challenges facing the Church in the 21st century. As prefect of the Congregation for Bishops at the Vatican, Prevost has demonstrated strong leadership and influence in selecting and overseeing bishops worldwide. His job is not simply to select religious leaders, but to ensure that they possess the values and qualities appropriate to the Church's high mission. His influence helped to create a network of bishops who were deeply involved in their communities, listening and accompanying them in their struggles. This not only strengthened the relationship between the Church and the faithful, but also contributed to a stronger and more united Church. Pope Leo XIV's career in Peru and in the Vatican provided a solid foundation for his continued great mission, global influence, and ability to govern the Church in these challenging times. Peru, a remote land of majestic Andes mountains and miserable urban slums, has left a deep mark on the life and pastoral mission of Robert Francis Prevost. Although not a native, he chose to live, serve, and be fully committed to this place for more than a decade, to the point that the Peruvian government granted him citizenship as a recognition of his sincere love and tireless commitment. He did not stop at teaching or managing. He trained generations of seminarians and priests, but more than that, he was present as a father among his poor flock. He did not wait for people to come to church. He brought the Church to where they lived, whether it was a dusty slum or a remote village in the mountains. For him, the gospel was not something to be proclaimed from afar, but a close, sincere, and lively daily companionship. The people here still remember a foreign priest who always had a warm smile, listened with all his heart, and was not afraid to walk for hours to reach the poor. His love for Peru was not a temporary thing. It was the crystallization of integration, giving, and deep respect for the indigenous culture and people. In the hearts of the Peruvian people, he was not just a priest, he was a father, a friend, a bringer of hope to the darkest places, an indelible mark. For 12 years, from 2001 to 2013, Robert Francis Prevost, now Pope Leo XIV, served as Superior General of the Order of St. Augustine, one of the oldest and most influential religious orders in the Catholic Church. Elected to the order's supreme office at just 46 years old, he brought with him a reformist spirit, a passionate heart, and a bold global vision. Not simply an organizational leader, he truly became the soul of unity and sustainable development for the entire order. With his outstanding linguistic skills and multi-continental missionary experience, he has constantly traveled between countries, visited each community, listened to the concerns of the religious brothers, and inspired them to live according to the spirit of St. Augustine: communion, interiority, and service. Under his leadership, the Order of St. Augustine not only strengthened its spiritual identity, but also expanded its mission to many new lands, especially in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. He always emphasized that the development of the order could not be without fraternity, humility, and listening to one another in the Holy Spirit. It was his closeness, openness, and sincerity that created a profound transformation, not noisy, but persistent and full of vitality. This period of time is a powerful testament to the leadership, holiness, and tireless devotion of a man carefully prepared by God for a greater mission. Upon his election as Pope, Robert Francis Prevost, as Pope Leo XIV, immediately demonstrated his leadership style through a powerful and moving speech. In it, he called on the Church to become a church of bridges and dialogue, emphasizing that the Church's mission in the 21st century is not just to teach and preach, but to connect, listen, and create harmony among people, regardless of where they come from or what they believe. It was a humane and wise message, clearly reflecting his vision of a church that is constantly evolving and welcoming to all. Pope Leo XIV understood that, in an increasingly polarized and divided world, the role of the Church was not only to be a guardian of faith, but also a builder of harmony between different peoples, cultures, and religions. He called on the Church to open its arms without distinction, so that everyone could feel love and tolerance. This was not just a simple appeal, but a change in the way the Church approached social and religious issues. A church that is always ready to listen, dialogue, and understand will be an important bridge in the construction of a more united society. Pope Leo XIV's message not only reflects his philosophy of life, but also serves as a reminder that, in this world, dialogue and mutual acceptance are the keys to overcoming all challenges. Pope Leo XIV's leadership style was characterized by collaboration and flexibility, which made him a leader who was able to effectively deal with complex situations in the Church. In contrast to rigid and divisive styles, he always sought to build close, understanding, and cooperative relationships with members of the Church, from bishops to lay people. This flexibility not only helped him to easily solve internal problems, but also created space for everyone to participate in the development of the Church. By listening and understanding different points of view, Pope Leo XIV was not simply a decision-maker, but a leader with empathy and respect. He demonstrated the ability to smooth over deep conflicts, creating a more harmonious atmosphere among people with opposing views. This is important in a global church like the Catholic Church, where cultural and ideological differences can lead to conflict. An interesting aspect of Pope Leo XIV's life was his passion for sports, which helped to portray him as a more approachable leader. In addition to his religious duties, he was a sports enthusiast, especially tennis and baseball, sports that required patience, team spirit, and relentless fighting, values that he brought to his work. Despite his athleticism and down-to-earth image, Pope Leo XIV faces one of the biggest challenges of his pontificate, healing deep divisions within the Catholic Church. The divide between conservatives and progressives is not just simmering, but is becoming increasingly apparent in debates about the role of women, LGBTQ people, immigrants, and the environment. Conflicts within the Church have left many believers disoriented or deserted. In this situation, Pope Leo XIV must become a mediator, a leader of listening and tolerance. He must maintain orthodox doctrine while being flexible and sensitive to the changes of modern society. This is a great challenge, requiring perseverance, wisdom, and an open heart. Pope Leo XIV demonstrated wise and compassionate leadership, helping the Church overcome many challenges of the times through his flexibility and reconciliation. If you love inspiring leadership stories, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more.